The U.S. has accused Rwanda of breaching the deal it brokered to try and bring peace in the eastern DRC, and this leading to all kinds of questions about what the road ahead looks like right now. Let's speak to Rwanda-based political analyst Jean Baptiste Gasominari, who is joining us to discuss this further. A very good evening to you, sir, and thank you so much for your time. So reports this afternoon suggesting that the M23 rebels have said they will now withdraw from Uvira town at the request of the U.S. administration. Does this, in your view, kind of signal that there's possibly hope for this peace deal?
Yeah, definitely yes, because when you read the statement itself, it mentions that upon the request of the guarantor of the peace agreement signed in Washington, that AFC M23 has unilaterally decided to withdraw from the town of Uvira. Of course, with some conditions, but it signals a very good hope in the future, because if they can accept to withdraw from a town they have captured, then it means that they are cooperative and they want peace to prevail.
And how long does it hold? Because, as you say, they do have the conditions, and if the conditions are not met, how long before we see things unravel again?
That would be complicated, because if the conditions are not met, I do not see them withdrawing, leaving the people just behind without any protection, because among the conditions, they are requesting that a neutral force be deployed in Uvira to oversee the security of people and their belongings. So I believe if this condition is not met, it will be difficult for them to withdraw, just leaving the people behind.
So where then, and I ask this because we've seen what happened before. So where does this neutral force come from? And will, in your view, do you think they will respect this neutral force on the ground?
Where the neutral force will come from, I think is still a question to be answered, because they are in Doha now negotiating. Maybe among the things that they will discuss, that force will be part of it. But as we all know, preparing a force, deploying it, is not something that can take 1 to 10 days. It takes time to prepare a force and deploy it, and to see the force become effective on the ground. Mm-hmm. So the condition itself is difficult to meet. So I think we'll wait for people that are negotiating in Doha to tell us the way forward.
So signing a deal, for example, is one thing, right? But achieving peace on the ground is a different picture, with some of the concerns as well to say that you now have other groupings that you need to be concerned about beyond the M23 rebels as well. So let's look at, the road ahead now for the Eastern DRC. Is it going to be as easy as reaching an agreement in Doha and then things go back to normalcy? Or are you now going to have to deal again with some of these little groupings that have caused a problem as well?
If at all an agreement was signed in Doha, I think it will be easier, because the rest of the groups are groups that are entertained by the government. So I believe if the government signs a peace agreement with AFC M23, it will also make, among other commitments, to organize and to disarm those groups that are fighting on its behalf.
The U.S. government, even before getting to this particular point, had very scathing words for the Rwandan government, and also saying that whoever it is that, would be caught or seen to be an instigator here can expect some serious action from the U.S. administration. And one wonders, when you look at the two countries, right, that is, of course, President Felix Tshisekedi, President Paul Kagame, do you think these are two individuals who can see eye to eye for a longer time in order for peace to be there and sustained over a lengthy period of time?
Yes, I think yes, because the peace will only come if both leaders can sit together, discuss, and for a long time upheld what they have decided or what they have committed to do. So definitely these two leaders are paramount in bringing peace in the region, because they are the ones who signed the peace agreement in Washington, and they are the ones that have to implement that peace agreement. But in the case of Eastern DRC, I think the people tend to mix two aspects which are not the same, because there is an agreement that has been reached in Washington, but there is also talks that are ongoing in Doha, in Qatar. One is between Rwanda and DRC, and the other one is between DRC and AFCM23, which is a Congolese movement. So I think they can complement each other, but they cannot be confused one another. And so this is something that should be taken into consideration, and I think this is what Washington authorities are missing, because they are not making this difference between both processes. They think it's one process, which is not true.
And what's at stake if these processes aren't being complementary and in helping with, quelling the tensions on the ground?
Well, what is at stake is that they should be considered together. They should be taken seriously. And if you are to make commitments with one party, then you should not forget the other, like it was in Washington. So AFCM23 considers itself as an organization that is not bound by what was signed in Washington, D.C. So that's why I'm saying that both processes are important and they should be carried hand in hand.
Yeah, let's see what happens in Doha. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for talking to us. That's Rwanda-based political analyst Jean Baptiste Gasominari.